Unveiling the rise of Caitlin Clark in basketball. In the quiet streets of West Des Moines, Iowa, a small girl would dribble a basketball up and down her driveway. The sound of the bouncing ball would echo throughout the neighborhood, becoming a constant and unwavering beat that seemed to accompany the very pulse of the place. This girl was Caitlin Clark, a name that would soon come to resonate far beyond the borders of Iowa, across the United States, and throughout the basketball world. Caitlin was introduced to sports from a very young age. When she was just 5 years old, she started playing basketball but had to do that in a boys' club, since there was no girls' basketball clubs in her area. In the upcoming years, she tried a variety of sports such as softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and golf. And by the time she was 13, she was already fully focused on basketball. At the time, she joined All Iowa Attack, an AAU basketball program based in Ames, Iowa, and when the time came for high school basketball, she was ready to become a star. Clark played for Dowling Catholic High School in her hometown under her head coach, Kristen Meyer. In her freshman season, Clark led her team to a 19-5 record, averaging 15.3 points, 4.7 assists, and 2.3 steals per game, earning a Class 5A All-State third-team accolade from the Iowa Newspaper Association. Clark had a breakout season in her sophomore year, averaging 27.1 points, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.3 steals per game, ranking second in the state in scoring. She was named first-team Class 5A All-State by the Iowa Print Sports Writers Association and Central Iowa Metro League Player of the Year by the Des Moines Register. Following the season, Clark led the AAU program All Iowa Attack to the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League Championship, scoring 23 points in a 64-61 victory over the Cal Storm in the final. In her junior season, Clark scored 60 points in a 90-78 win over Mason City High School, which was the second most scored in women's basketball in Iowa, and her 13 three-pointers were a record. She led the state in scoring that year, averaging 32.6 points and also adding 6.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. She was named Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year and repeated as a Class 5A All-State first-team selection by the IPSWA. She repeated both accomplishments in her senior year after averaging 33.4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.7 steals per game. Coming out of high school, Clark was heavily recruited as a 5-star athlete and ranked 4th in the country, and she decided to stay home and join the Iowa Hawkeyes. She immediately became a starter and scored 27 points in her college debut. She recorded a season-high 37 points against Nebraska, had a triple-double against Western Illinois, and led the Hawkeyes to the Sweet 16. Clark was a unanimous Big Ten Freshman of the Year and first-team All-Big Ten selection, and became the first freshman to win the Dawn Staley Award, which honors the best Division I guard, and also led the division in scoring with 26.6 points per game. In her sophomore year in Iowa, Clark was the fastest Big Ten player to reach 1,000 career points, and later became the first Division I men's or women's player to record consecutive triple-doubles with at least 30 points, and the first women's player in Big Ten history with consecutive triple-doubles. Her season high was a 46-point performance against Michigan, and later she led the team to the Big Ten championship. Again, she led the division in scoring with 27 points per game and became the first player to win back-to-back Dawn Staley Awards. The following year, Iowa won the Big Ten championship again after Clark posted 30 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 105-72 win over Ohio State in the final. She was determined to take her team all the way and became the first player in tournament history with consecutive 40-point games. However, Iowa lost 102-85 to LSU in the championship game. Despite the disappointing loss, Clark won all major National Player of the Year awards, AP Player of the Year, the Honda Sports Award, the John R. Wooden Award, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA National Player of the Year, and the Wade Trophy. For the third straight year, she won the Dawn Staley Award, but this time she added the prestigious Best Female College Athlete ESPY Award and the Big Ten Female Athlete of the Year. Going into her senior college season, Clark was a superstar athlete, as not many before her. She became the second player ever to record a triple-double in all 4 college seasons and became the second fastest player to reach the 3,000-point milestone. Later that season, she scored a career-high 49 points against Michigan and became the NCAA Division I women's career scoring leader. In her last regular season game, she became the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer among men's or women's players, eclipsing Pete Maravich, who had set the men's scoring record in 3 seasons with LSU and even surpassed Steph Curry for most three-pointers in a single season. Again, Clark led Iowa to the championship game in a rematch against LSU, and this time the Hawkeyes won 94-87 for the perfect ending of an outstanding college career. She scored 41 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds, and made an NCAA record of 9 three-pointers in a championship game. In her senior season, Clark averaged 31.6 points, 8.9 assists, and 7.4 rebounds per game, leading Division I in scoring and assists. Clark left Iowa with the most career points, 3,951, and three-pointers, 548, the second most triple-doubles, 17, and the third most assists, 1,144 in Division I history. She had a chance to stay in college for a 5th year, but after she won everything there is to win, Clark decided it was time for the big leagues. The Indiana Fever selected her first overall pick at the 2024 WNBA Draft. The Fever missed the playoffs for 7 straight years, the longest drought in WNBA history. Clark was immediately one of the biggest stars in the league and received the most votes for the All-Star Game. Shortly after, she became the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double after posting 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in an 83-78 victory over the New York Liberty. The Fever had a tough start to the season, losing 8 of the first 9 games, but Clark took over the court as the season progressed, and following a 5-game winning streak at the start of September, they clinched the playoffs. The competition is pretty hard in the East, but no team will have an easy time against the Fever and Clark. She is capable of beating anybody in the league, and regardless of how far the Fever will go this year, there's no doubt that Clark will prove she is a born winner, and one day, not long from now, will bring the WNBA championship to Indiana.